For 300 years, one hidden empire has quietly controlled governments, wars, and global money, and almost no one knows their name. Today, we reveal the silent financial dynasty behind modern banking, the network of families, institutions, and secret agreements that shape the world you live in. This is the hidden empire controlling global money, and your entire life has been influenced by them without your knowledge. 300 years ago, Europe was burning with wars, collapsing kingdoms, and nations desperate for money. In the chaos, one powerful financial network quietly stepped in, not with armies, but with credit, bonds, and debt. They discovered something kings and emperors never realized. If you control money, you control everything. This empire began by doing something revolutionary for their time. Instead of lending to ordinary people, they lent to entire governments. They understood that kings could fall, armies could lose, but a government's debt would always survive, and so would the lenders who controlled it. They became the financial oxygen of nations, and once a country depended on them, escape was impossible. As wars increased, their power grew even faster, from Napoleon's rise to his ultimate defeat, from Britain's naval dominance to America's early growth. This hidden empire always positioned itself on the winning side, not through luck, but through strategy. They built international networks long before the world was globalized. When borders closed, their letters passed through. When currencies collapsed, their gold held steady. When economies fell, they quietly bought everything at a discount. But their greatest innovation wasn't gold, it was trust. They created private messengers who traveled faster than any army. Their intelligence network was so efficient that they sometimes learned the outcome of battles before the governments did. With that information, they controlled markets, predicted collapses, and made fortunes from timing alone. Eventually, their banks became the backbone of modern finance. Central banks, bond markets, international trade. Almost everything today was shaped by systems they helped design. They advised kings, rescued empires, funded revolutions, and even influenced borders. And they did it all without holding political office. Their influence came from something far more powerful. Governments needed money, and they controlled the supply. As centuries passed, their model expanded globally. America, once a young nation drowning in war debt, adopted many of the principles forged by this financial empire. The Federal Reserve, the Bank of England, and even the structure of modern central banking carry the fingerprints of their early innovations. But the most fascinating part is how they adapted. When gold lost its dominance, they moved into bonds. When bonds slowed, they mastered international finance. When computers took over, they shifted into hedge funds, derivatives, and global investment structures. They evolved faster than any government they loaned money to. And today, their influence remains, though hidden behind modern names, massive investment groups, central banking networks, and global financial institutions. Many of the world's wealthiest families and funds operate using frameworks this empire created centuries ago. So why does nobody talk about them? Because the true power of this group has never been in publicity, but in silence. They learned long ago that the strongest influence is the influence no one sees. They don't need political speeches, media attention, or public titles. Their strength comes from the fact that every nation, big or small, still operates on the systems they engineered long ago. They shaped how governments borrow money, how currencies gain value, how markets rise and fall, and how global wealth moves without ever being noticed. The modern world may look different from the empires of the past, but behind the scenes, many of the same financial structures remain. Nations still depend on debt, markets still react to interest, and institutions created centuries ago still influence the decisions of presidents, prime ministers, and central bankers, often without the public understanding where these ideas came from. This hidden empire never needed to rule land. They ruled something far more powerful, the flow of global money. And whether you're aware of it or not, your salary, your savings, your loans, your taxes, your economic opportunities, all of them exist inside a system designed generations before you were born. And the empire that designed it is still here. For 300 years, the world has followed a financial blueprint created by a small but extraordinarily strategic network. They didn't conquer nations. They funded them. They didn't control armies. They controlled credit. And today, the systems they helped shape still determine the rise and fall of currencies, markets, and even countries. As the world enters a new era of digital money, AI finance, and global debt crises, one question becomes more important than ever. Will this hidden empire continue to rule the future of global money, or is a new power about to rise?